So, how does a singer like Dmitry seem to be able to sing for miles and miles without breathing? If is it because his lungs were the size of wine barrels? No, it's because of one thing: breath management. And today we're going to talk about how professional singers train to sustain long phrases and how you can do it too. But first, before we get started, let's bust a common myth. A huge lung capacity isn't what makes you able to sing long phrases. Lungs are the fuel tanks of the body, but even a big tank will empty quickly if you open the valve too wide. What matters is efficiency, how you use the air that you've got. Dimitri's magic came from control, not from capacity. Now, I once spoke to Dimitri about this, and he told me something his teacher taught him. That over time, a singer's diaphragm becomes more flexible, more able to move up and down, and that this is the reason we train. But here's the actual truth. The diaphragm already moves a lot in normal breathing, around 2 to 3 inches between a deep inhale and a full exhale. Remember, it's moves on that axis as well. It's thin and fat at the back. And training won't make it physically travel further than your natural maximum. But here's what does change: your coordination. With practice, the diaphragm works in perfect harmony with your intercostals, abdominal wall, the pelvic floor. You learn to resist its natural urge to spring back up too quickly, keeping it low, steady, and controlled. To the singer, it feels like the diaphragm is more flexible. But in reality, what's happening is your body is using its ability to use the full range with precision, and that's what improves. A skilled singer will take a silent, low breath, expanding not just the front of the ribs, but the backs and the sides. They engage a balanced appoggio, that poised feeling where the ribs stay open and the body feels suspended, that leaning appoggiare, the lean appoggio. The diaphragm releases upwards slowly with just the right pressure for the vocal folds to vibrate efficiently. But here's the really important part. You do not lock the abdominal muscles. Locking or hardening the abs stops the diaphragm from releasing properly, forcing pressure at the throat instead of managing it lower down. Likewise, beware of teachers who tell you to push your tummy out while singing. That advice often leads to tension, wasted air, and poor tone. You don't lock your abdominals, you don't lock your ribs. Instead, think of maintaining buoyancy in the torso, flexible, engaged, but never rigid or forced. And here's something else. The supplementary muscles surrounding around the diaphragm, especially the intercostals and the deep abdominal stabilizers, are essential for keeping the larynx anchored during singing. A low, stable larynx isn't held in place by the throat squeezing, it's supported from below. I've got more to say that in a coming up video. When these muscles work in harmony, you will get both breath control and vocal stability. And if I can just dive in here to say, if you're enjoying these videos and you want to support the channel, I would be so grateful if you could buy me a coffee. There is a link down below. It's quick, it's easy, and it's very, very safe. And it really, really helps pay my bills and keep the lights on. But if you can't do that, then just sticking around and a simple like or a comment and a subscribe means the world to me. Thank you so much for watching these videos. And now let's get back to it. Here are 3 standard exercises that will help build that control. The silent, low in-breath. Stand tall, inhale through the nose or the mouth silently as if filling a ring of air around the lower ribs. Keep your shoulders relaxed, chest open, ribs wide. Take in that low breath, release an S sound. Keeping the ribs open. Time yourself. See if you can last longer without the strain. Feel how the ribs move gently inwards without any strain on the throat. Do the same thing and sing in a comfortable pitch on an R. A classic exercise, the crescendo diminuendo. You are keeping the tone steady while feeling how the ribs move very gently in and out without any pressure and a free moving diaphragm with a low larynx. Remember, Dmitri didn't sing these long phrases to impress with his long lung power. He sang those long phrases to shape the music exactly as he wanted it. And so learning to go, ah, and using these exercises is not developing some Olympic skill, but is developing your instrument to be able to express to its fullest capacity. When you're doing, when you're doing these exercises, this feeling of opening and closing and moving of the diaphragm, your ears are listening to the tone you're producing, whether an unvoiced S or in a song. Ah, is the vibrato steady? Is it moving in and out with dynamically with a gentle swell? And are your ribs gently coming back and your diaphragm gently rising? Double glide. We'll talk a lot more about that. You do not need enormous lungs. You need control, efficiency, and disciplined training. You need to work on that. You need to avoid bad habits like abdominal locking or pushing and engage those stabilizing muscles to the larynx. Then those endless phrases will feel easy. And when you can do that, you're no longer surviving a piece, you're sculpting it like the greats, using your breath as a beautiful paintbrush that you are painting beautiful words in the air. Like always, I cannot stress enough. Don't just take my videos and try to work them out for yourself. Speak to your teacher about these concepts if you do not understand. And if your teacher doesn't answer you or give you a satisfactory help, then speak to me about it. Send me a message. Even if you don't want to work with me, I am more than happy to talk to all of you, any of you, about anything that you find confusing. I absolutely love the art form of opera, and I will do everything I can to help anybody improve, share my knowledge. Obviously, paying my bills is wonderful and important, and I love teaching, etc. But what matters more than anything is that in 100 years' time, we have singers that can remember these ancient, old-fashioned, but true bel canto ideas. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.